second stage. We're the second part of creation. We're the second creation. Like I said, Nuwaubu informs us that there were three creations. We will be the secondary creation or the evolutionary creation. We are dense to matter, to atoms, to cells, to organisms, to bodies. We're the second
evolutionary descendants.
Yeah, because it says that we are the evolutionary descendants of the Melanites.
Okay.
Yeah, and you go take it right back and rewind it when Neff said that the Mr. White Man and White Woman was talking, and he saw dark or black motherfuckers coming out of ships.
Oh, I've seen that video.
Those would be considered the first creation. The melanin or the Melanites Moors that grew with the universe. That's why they look like that.
Right. That's why and they're the first. So we're the second evolutionary descendant.
And evolutionary means that which came out of the first.
Right. But then you also said the evolution itself means death. So is that like why we're the dying ones, so to speak, or does evolution, the death in evolution still apply to evolutionary creation?
Yes. Absolutely.
So we're basically falling down from the Melanites.
No, not really, because even in death, there's still a resurrection.
Right. That's so we're gonna fall. Mm-hmm. So we'll fall from we're falling like you said. Once we leave this we'll remanifest as 6 ether beings, then as 3 ether beings, and then we resurrect again as 9 ether beings.
9 ether resurrects after 6 ether dies.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So then you'll come right back into a 9 ether state of being.
Okay.
Let's do it this way. Before you got here, you were behind hydrogen. You were nothing more than ether, right? Right? You were nothing more than ether. You could have been ether 1. But in order to manifest on this side of hydrogen, you had to at least get to either ether 6 or ether 9 to come on this side of hydrogen and manifest in the physical form. Because there's only 2 forms of ether that can actually come on the physical form, and that's 6 ether and 9 ether.
Okay.
You understand?
And where does this fit in with the cycle of life? With the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
6, 7,
with that. What is it called again, Neff? The will of existence.
Yes.
Where did that come in at? That's what you're asking?
Yes.
It's quite simple now. It comes in just like this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's take 9, that wheel, and make that the primary creation. You got me?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a mind's eye of what that wheel looks like? That you're talking about the next mention?
I'm looking at the wheel now.
Okay, good. Let me pull it up. Got it. Okay. So there's the 9, and the 3 is the opposite of 9, right? And the 2 6s on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take 9 as the primary creation, whether it's going counterclockwise or clockwise, okay? Either way, it has to get to 6. Yes or no?
Yes, it has to.
6 would be considered the second evolution, the second creation, which is evolutionary creation, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, and the 3 would be your third creation, your ghostational creation, the breath of life, the living soul, the existing conscious being. Okay? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we're going to go to what happens when 6 ether comes in human form and 9 ether come in human form. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the wheel. Because 9 ether produce 6 ether, right? That's your Caucasian, right?
Right.
And that's the 6. And 6 ether produce ghost. That's your 3. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your creation. That's your 3 creations.
Regardless if you go clockwise or counterclockwise.
Okay, now, and 6 ether produce ghost, because we know there's 3 creations, right? And 3 is ghost, 6 is evolution, bodies, organisms, and all that type of shit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now 6 ether produce ghost, and this is not to be mistaken with the hair range of 6, 7, and 8, okay? Or 9. Okay, here we go now. 9 ether will become 6 ether through time and age. What is the wheel called again? Time and existence. So through time and age, 9 ether will become 6 ether.
Mm-hmm.
That's evolution right there, because that's your second creation, which is evolution. And it says that 9 ether will become 6 ether through time and age, which means die, D-I-E. You got it? Mm-hmm. Now, you stay with me at 6 ether. What will 6 ether become?
6 ether become 3 ether.
And 3 is ghost. It's the third stage. It's the ghostational creation. So we're not really looking at only death. We're looking at creation and death going hand in hand.
Yeah. All right.
Okay? Because even though non-ether becomes 6 ether through time and age, which will die, 6 ether will become 3 ether. Let's do it that way, right? Through time and age, which is ghostational. Okay? Exactly. But now that we're at the 3 now, Tony, you can either, I don't know which 3, okay, the 3 that you're looking at, I'm going to the left. I'm going clockwise, right? Okay. Even though it's really counterclockwise, okay? But now you got 4, 5, and 6 again, right? Right. Right, so 6 ether, albinos, is non-ether, Nuwabians in death, right? So when you're looking at 6 ether in the physical form, you're looking at a dying non-ether being.
Exactly, I get it. So, but what I was caught up on looking at the wheel, I was like, well, it touches 6 ether twice.
Absolutely, because now it has to still go through the creation process, and I'll show you how. After the death of 6 ether, non-ether resurrects again. So you see, we at 6 now, and you see that wheel has to come right back to 9 to resurrect. No matter which way you go on that wheel. So we can go 9 at the top, right? And do it counterclockwise if you're looking at the wheel. So it'll drop down, non-ether becomes 6 ether through time and age. Now we at 6. 6 ether becomes ghost through time and age. Now we at 3, right? And what does it say? After the death of 6 ether, non-ether resurrects anyway. So it still has to go through those ethers to even come back to 9 counterclockwise.
Anyway. Right, exactly. I see.
Right, because mind you, the 2 creations, which is evolutionary, which is the second creation, and tertiary, or how the fuck you pronounce that, newbie?
Tertiary.
Thank you. Which is the third creation, is nothing more or nothing less than what?
Ghostational.
Right, which is the breath of life, the living soul, and the existing conscious being. There's nothing racist about this. This is science. Yes, we know that we are, or we do have the breath of life, right? That's our third form of creation. The living soul, and also the existing of consciousness in us. That's your third creation.
Now we're going back into the 9 again after 6 ether dies and becomes 3 ether. That's when 9 ether is born again. We're moving, resurrecting.
Right, because then you give up the ghost. Because the third creation is ghostational. So you give up the ghost. You give up the breath of life. When you die by yourself, right, you become the last stage of death, which is one of the 3 stages of creation. You give up the life, the breath of life. You give up the ghost, the spirit or the soul that occupies your body. And now you become a conscious being. And a conscious being is nothing more than conscious gases.
Right, and you have to manifest.
Which means at that point you are now behind hydrogen back to ether. Listen, don't mistake non-ether you for non-ether existing.
I think that's what I'm doing too. Okay, I think
that's what you're doing. Right, that's what you're mistaking that. Once you become nothing but gas again, conscious gases, that's where you're at your ether, your non-ether state. You look like non-ether beings that grew the universe. Don't get us wrong. Don't get me wrong. We look like, we resemble them motherfuckers.
Right.
Because we are the evolutionary descendants of the real woolly-haired non-ether beings that came along and grew with the universe. Okay? But because what is it called now? The wheel of existence and time. On this side of hydrogen, non-ether has to go through 6 and 3. All the ethers anyway, because we're on this side of hydrogen. We're not ether beings. We are not non-ether beings. We are just in non-ether form on this side. But we are not non-ether beings. In order to go from form, from flesh, from physical, you have to go back behind hydrogen in order to be pure conscious gases. Conscious and conscience or conscientious gases. And that we are not. We are just conscious beings. We're
so
there it is. That's it right there.
Say what?
That's
I can't hear you, Tony. Zena's having a hallelujah moment. Say it again, Tony.
So like you said, we can't be those 9 ether beings. But in the physical form, I mean, we're not albinos, so we're not 6 ether beings. So in a sense that make us 9 ether beings, but not the original 9 ether beings.
Answer that question again. I'm sorry.
Like the 6 ether beings are I call all the animals, basically, all the straight-haired stringy, all the straight-haired people. Whether it be the Caucasian or the Indian or the Arab or whatever, they're all like 6 ether beings.
Okay, but you're only saying that they would be only 6 ether beings because of their what? Their color or their hair texture or what?
No, I'm saying they're the descendants of those that bailed out at 6 ether instead of growing to 9. They just bailed out.
That's right. Which means that they only would have 6 of the conscious and conscientious gases. That's all it takes is to get to the other side of hydrogen. Is at least 6 ethers.
Right.
To come on this side of hydrogen. One ether, you can't get to this side of hydrogen. 2 ether, you can't do it. 3, you can't do it. 4, you can't do it. 5, you can't do it. 6 or 9, you can go from behind that hydrogen and manifest in form. Because then you will become the side of hydrogen, you will become light, energy, and matter. And then you'll go down to the second creation, where then you will be born into or created be created into density, matter, atom, cells, and organisms and bodies. Then once you get all that, you come down to the third, to the body, soul, and spirit, which is the third creation. So it's 3 forms of creation in order to even manifest on this side of
right. That's what I'm seeing. That's
why it's not racism, it's science. Because even what you're looking at, all those people or Caucasians or Mongoloids or Arabs, whatever you want to call them, it still took them from behind hydrogen to manifest in front of hydrogen to become energy, light, matter. Then take on the second form or the second creation, which is what? Matter, atomic, density, matter, atom, cells, the organisms, the bodies. Then manifest on the third, which is the breath of life. They got that too in them. The living soul, they got that in them. The ghost, all of us have the ghost in us.
Okay.
You have to go through the 3 stages of creation in order to manifest on this physical form. In this physical form, you still have to go through the 3 stages of creation. They were all ether before coming on this side of hydrogen.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And they were all ether before becoming on this side of hydrogen. Absolutely.
Exactly. All right.
Don, I have a question.
And don't forget this. Hey, Triple, don't forget this. Now, check it. Let me say this real quick, Triple. Okay, Tony? Understand this, okay? Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Therefore, the Melanites and their evolutionary descendants are the personification of the original creative forces. Who? 7 in all. Okay? 7 in all. As the 7 species of Riskians, you have 7 species of Melanites or Nuwabians called Negroids. Right?
Right.
And you have 3 species of Mongoloids and 2 species of Caucasoids. Now, here's your science, not racism. Now, the 3 species of Mongoloids, the 2 species of Caucasoids, the 7 species of Melanites, all growing out of the original Nuwabians. Even the 2 species of Caucasians grew out of the original Nuwabians.
They just didn't grow within in the beginning.
Hell no. It grew out.
I see. I see.
Absolutely. It grew out of the original. It grew out of non-ether. So thus, out of non-ether come 6 ether beings. That's why it says non-ether will become 6 through time and age. 6 ether becomes ghost through time and age. 6 ether, albino is non-ether in death. Nuwabians in death. And ghost is the death of 6 ether. And after the death of 6 ether, non-ether resurrects again.
All right. You cut the light on with that one. All right.
Yeah, they all grew out of the original non-ether beings, Caucasians and Mongoloids. They grew out of the original Nubians, or the Negroids, or the Riskians. Absolutely.
It just cracked the racism. I just look at them like they just did niggas.
Well, yeah, because when you're looking at an evolutionary stage take place. So you're looking at a dead Negro, a dying Negro. When you see Caucasians, you're seeing a dying Negro. That would be an evolutionary force takes place. An evolutionary stage. That's the second stage of creation, even though it's the second stage of death for non-ether. See? The second stage of creation, but it's also the second stage of death for non-ether. Because when what? Because 6-ether is the death of non-ether. A non-ether will become 6-ether through time and age, die.
Exactly.
Come on, wait, I got Triple first, King, and give a little bit more patience. Hey, Triple.
Hey, Dawn. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
What the hell you doing now?
Some said get up and listen to this shit, so I got up and listened to it. I don't know if it was you, I don't know who it was, but I heard, so I called in. Anyway,
it's an honor.
You did kind of already answer the question I was going to ask. What I was going to ask is, why would they choose to come in as a form that is not what we would consider to be non-ether? So this non-ether.
There's so many different time zones that are happening. You see what I'm saying? They didn't all come at the same time. When you're watching an evolution take place in different times on this side of the planet. That's what you're watching.
You answered the question. You already answered it because it came in waves. So we're seeing this stage that we're in right now, this wave. There's a whole set of waves before that, because you're right, it is an evolutionary process or a devolutionary process. Makes sense to me. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what you're watching now. That's what we're seeing. So it's not that when you see 6-ether, you just basically, when you see any individual in 6-ether form, like Caucasian, you're seeing the death of non-ether in them. So that means that they had to be non-ether first before you could even see a 6-ether form in Caucasian. Non-ether was present, and in their time, they became 6-ether. So when you see a Caucasian, you're looking at time evolution taking place from 9 to 6. That's what you see in that Caucasian.
Okay, so that's why they
just like when you see
life in it.
Right, just like, remember now, our universe is dying. This is why we're in evolutionary form. Because before there was ghost or 6-ether, it was all non-ether prior to this on this planet.
Okay. Well, like
and because that wheel has changed from 9 to 6 is what you're seeing evolution take place in the universe, which we resemble the light. We resemble the universe. So if the universe is dying, that means 6-ether evolutionary forces is taking place. Because the color that we have now shows you, the form that we're in now shows you the death of non-ether. Because the universe is dying.
Wow. Because we're not jet black like they were.
Well, no, it has not. Well, yeah, you can say that. And we damn sure is not conscientious as well.
Right.
It's conscious, but not conscious in inches. That's why we have to get from behind hydrogen, or like he say, get from behind the 9-ball. So you have to come from hydrogen and go back to ether. And there is a way to get to ether even on this physical form. Because if Anu can come down uninformed to informed and be detected, okay, and what you call your time and space, so can you do the same thing. And that is simply staying up for about 3 days, 72 hours, you already get from behind the hydrogen. You're already in ether now. You're working off of gases.
Hold up. You said if I could stay up 3 days.
Yes, you'll be behind hydrogen. You'll be working off of ether, pure ether, gases.
Try that shit. You gotta try that shit.
Yeah,
that is right.
Yeah.
The last time I did that, I thought I was God, honestly.
Exactly. You become God, for real.
I'm about to try that shit.
Yeah. That's why they like to keep the spell asleep on the being.
Right.
Yeah. Because then you'll be on the other side. You will actually start to go through the planes of existence.
All Eyes on Egypt presents the Holy Tablets, backed by popular demand, written and transcribed by Dr. Malachi Yokel, the receiver. This is the scripture that is divinely inspired that will bring about a long overdue change. Like the phoenix bird rising up out of its ashes. Up, you mighty people, come forth like Lazarus from the tomb. This tablet is food to feed the hunger and to nourish the soul, to give it strength. Rise up, stand up. Be counted amongst the people of this world. Be the first to get your copy of the Holy Tablets while supplies last. At All Eyes on Egypt, Monticello, Georgia, 706-468-2319. Tune in to the El Holy Tablet Show every Friday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WGAG Radio.
Begin all prayer in thinking by using El Kadum, the All. Prayer of the answers. O Heavenly One, the Most High, who is sustainer of all the worlds, we do accept the duty you have laid on us to clean up the filth made by that west. It is non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, we beseech you to keep your hand over us, to control the streams of the forces of our lives. Our sustainer, if we do wrong, please show thy divine blessings and forgiveness on us. You are the only one that can raise us true followers of the news bearers. And in thy name, we carry on an anthem for all.
Please. Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the El Holy Tablet Show. It's Saturday night, baby. We do it at 9 o'clock every Saturday night. Hope y'all enjoyed that first hour. We're a little late, but it's all good. Special shout out to Bttb surviving the game. Thank you, Neff. Neff, even though I text you, like, I don't know, I text you around 7, 8-ish, but I didn't know that you didn't get the text, and it was crazy. So, yeah, I text you about 7 or 8-ish and shit. What I didn't know, well, one, I didn't know you didn't get the text, and two, I didn't know that when you're flying 7,500 feet in the air, you can't send goddamn text messages. So I sent you a goddamn text message thinking, goddamn, you'll be able to get that shit. I ain't even think. But anyway, special shout out to Bttb surviving the game. But great day, everybody. Welcome to the El Holy Tablet Show. You already know, baby. Back to the beginning, season 4, episode 29. The name. The name, baby. Special shout out to all the callers on the call lines. If you need the call-in number, the call-in number is 515-605-9828 or 425-569-5274. That's getting in. Gotta show some love to everybody over there in the after party. Hope all is well with y'all, man. Great day, Arishka Gall 2020 in the building. Special shout out to She-Dot Mechanic. What up, She-Dot? One time for Miss Hudson, my man Mush Mouth. Great day, baby. And once again, shout out to Bttb surviving the game. Bttb and me 19. What up, Neff? T. Marie, Twank Star Double R. What up, Twank? One time for Jay Wizzle. J1, what's up, baby? Gotta show some love, man, to my nigga over there on Lockdown Radio again. My nigga Taekwondo in the building. What up, Ty? Yes, girl, this shit is live. J1 like, is this shit live? Actually, it wasn't gonna be. I ain't gonna need front. It wasn't gonna be. When I found out that Neff didn't get the text, I was like, man, fuck that shit, man. I ain't finna do no Holy Tablet Show, man. I'm fucking but and then someone was like, yes, the fuck you are. Text her and tell her you almost there, blah blah blah, started up. By this time it was like damn near, I don't know, 9:15, 9:20. I don't have no idea what time I sent that text. But remember now, the first text I sent around 7 or 8-ish. Ah, man, they said my account is restricted. Your post would be, they don't restricted my goddamn account, man. Y'all some old hoe-ass mother, hoe-ass niggas. Hoe-ass niggas. Hoe-ass niggas. You want a flashback of that song real quick? Facebook some hoe-ass niggas. Let me see if I can get that hoe-ass nigga. Let me see if I can find it. Damn. What they call Han? Hoe-ass nigga. Let me see. Fuck it. Let me just type in hoe. I don't think it's under hoe. I don't think it's under Han. You remember that song? Jay Illa produced? Hoe-ass nigga. Hold on, let me play that song real quick. We still got about 6 minutes before we go. Remember now, it's not actually 10 o'clock for the show, but hoe-ass nigga. There it is. By Slice and Dice. Hoe-ass nigga.
Hoe-ass nigga. Hoe-ass nigga.
Facebook.
Ass nigga. Hoe-ass nigga.
Facebook.
Ass nigga. Hoe-ass nigga.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Ass nigga. Hoe-ass nigga. Swear these niggas can't handle me. They handa sippin' Hennessy. Could it be me and they fantasy? Honestly, they are hand to me. No love for the hands, so fuck what they say. They caught me sandwich in Guantanamo Bay. They try to put me in a cage, so I treat them like animals. They wanna eat me alive, and they all looking like Hannibal. Mr. Lecter, can you lecture how you pull another okie doke? Last name Handeras, first name Antonio. Hannah, Handy Griffith. They Willie Hancock. Open up a handy business. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. They and they looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger doing the like Hando Hunningham or Anthony talking about Car to the Mellow, Michelangelo or Donatello. They Han Solo like masturbation. They didn't want to dap you up full of connotation. Carolina Hunters, Hanfran for the Hunters. It's the Han that fell, and they running like Barry Hunters. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. Han. Ass nigga. Ass nigga. They Han. And they looking like Keanu Reeves, Mr. Henderson, with a handana and a handkerchief. Eating hand cake from McDonald's, like a hamburglar or hand model. Jamie Handora, Kanye West, from digital to analog, they hand the best. Barack Ohana, yes we hand. Swear they be lying, like Mega Han. Swear these niggas can't handle me. They handa tippin' Hennessy. Could it be me in they hand to see? Honestly, they a hand to me. Oh, ass nigga. Oh, ass nigga. Oh, ass nigga. Oh, ass nigga. Hand. Oh, ass nigga. Oh, ass nigga. They a hand. Alexander the Great, thank you for your contribution. For all you other Huns, there will be repercussions and consequences.
Well, I feel a little bit better. Hoe ass nigga. Hoe ass nigga. Schwarzenegger. All right, I'm feeling a little better though. Great day to everybody over there on Lockdown Radio. What's up with you? Toriano Collins over there in the building, man. Great day, baby. Hoe ass nigga. That nigga said Kanye West. Kanye West. Yo. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. Damn, where the fuck was I at, man? What the hell am I doing today? Yeah, let's get into. Well, wait a minute, goddamn. Hold on. Let's get into. Damn, what was I about to do? Oh shit! Give me 1 second. Yeah, let's get into. Damn, what the fuck I'm about to do today? Let's get into. Oh, this is a no. Let's get into. Hold on, y'all. I want to show y'all my landing. I ain't know Samantha caught my landing today. Hello. Y'all want to see Don Napoleon landing bird today? Hold on. Landing at Key. Y'all hold on. Be leading Don. Be flying them plane. Key West. Enter. Hold on. How you spell international? International Airport. All right. Hold on, let's put Don in front of it. Don Corleone. Put that at. Don Corleone land at Key West International Airport. Shout it. Let's throw some hashtags in it real quick. Shout it. Goddamn, hashtag female pilot in this bitch. Hashtag aviation. Hashtag AVIATION. Aviation life around this bitch. Aviation life. Hashtag throwing them WGAG Radio in this bitch. Oh, let me hashtag Key West. Hashtag Key. Hold on. Hashtag Key West in this motherfucker. Hey, J1, you want to see Don Napoleon land that bird? Huh? So another went with me to Key West. Bird. I had a great time. Just for the record, man. It's fucking awesome. I just want to put that on record. You want to see Don Napoleon land that bird, baby? Give me a second, man. I got to fucking get up first. Hey, what up, Twink Star, Devil Law? All right, y'all. This is the El Solar Tablet Show. Give me a second. All right. So, we're about to get into it, boys and girls, to the El Solar Tablet. You just heard it. You read it. You want to see it? Want to see Don land that bird real quick? I'm going to get my ass up. I just went and posted on Facebook because it moved faster. Hold on. You want to see me? You want to show? Let me show it to you. Hold up. Let me pull up. Hold on, y'all, peoples. Y'all going to hear the airplane in the background. Y'all motherfuckers on the call line. All right, here it is right here. Okay, wait. Let me set the cam up. Real quick. Here we go. All right, here it is. Since y'all don't have Facebook, J1 don't fuck with Facebook like that. There it is right now, baby. Got my cam on. There it is right there for y'all over in the after party. That's on right there. Let that bird and keep wearing earlier today. Stop and keep wearing international airport. There was so much goddamn turbulence, so much wind, crosswind, headwind, tailwind. We be on the phone that motherfucker though, right? The wind coming like crazy as shit. Check it out. See it that one? All right, now that land is ready to go. There it is. You see me leaned up, I just let you slap down. Sitting on record. There you go. You gotta lean up, drop the slap. One more time. One more time. One more time. Say what? Whatever. Oh, man, there's so much wind today. So much purpose. I'm tired. But Taekwondo and Taekwondo, come on, man, I need you back up. I'm tired. Fuck. Boy, that power out. And that bitch straight to the bottom. Slowly, baby. That's Johnny calling y'all right there, boo. Goddamn. I don't be flying them planes, baby. Don't fly them birds, boo. That was the Archer, hold up. That was the Archer, Piper. That was a Piper that I flew. This is my second time actually flying a Piper. You know what I'm saying? Takes some getting used to. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. All right, shit. And I'm frozen. I'm cold again, man. Oh, my God. And I just got here. Just got in this bitch. Thank you, Miss Hudson. Thank you. Great day, Miss Hudson. Hope all is well with you. All right, boys and girls, y'all ready for the El Solar Tablet Show? Say, hell yeah. All right, so we are in Tablet 5, Chapter 6, the Human Beast, BEHAYMAW. That's where we at, Tablet 5. We're in the third edition of the El Solar Tablets, boys and girls. That's on page 528. I dropped the Holy Tablets in the chat room over there on YouTube and in the after party for y'all. And that link is right where we at. When you click on the link, you'll be right there on the page, okay? Just want to let y'all know that shit. All right? So you see that? Page 528. You see that in the link? You see the page number right there? Right there in the link, baby. That's where we at, okay? All right, so we about to get into it. Page 528, once again, the Human Beast, BEHAYMAW, Chapter 6, Tablet 5, the name, El Kalum. Lo, the deformed, lame, the disfigured body, not hearing with the sound waves, not seeing at prism light, incurable disease. These are physically inherited sins of the Father suffering upon the Son. Powerful. Oh, he started off, point fingers. The name, let's do it again. Kalum. Lo, the deformed, lame, the disfigured body, not hearing with the sound waves, not seeing at prison light, incurable disease. These are the physical inherited sins of the Father suffering upon the Son. Powerful. My first perception of this abode, only 3 matters form a quite small star, which they depend on for life, called the sun. Oh, how they feel it is the biggest revealing by their small perception. They're calling it not merely a sun, but the sun. All of these beings in me were moved to pity of a deep kind. All the elders that speak through me to you were hurt by how little you know. Being asked by one of them, why have these things befallen me? As with Job, I answered, righteous is the still man of faith. Righteous is the still man of faith. Taken from him all things edible of earth. Pains cover pains with agony, can give anguish in his heart, yet still without a sound or complaint. That was Job. Again, being asked by one of them, why have these things befallen me? As with Job, I answered, righteous is the still man of faith. Taken from him all things edible of earth. Pains cover pains with agony, can give anguish in his heart, yet still without a sound or complaint. So if you study Job, you'll figure that part out. Job went through all types of hell, and yet he did not complain. So let's take it back a little bit, boys and girls. Let's take it back to all of these beings in me, verse 3. All of these beings in me were moved to pity of a deep kind. All the elders that speak through me to you were hurt by how little you know. Being asked by one of them, why have these things befallen me? As with Job, I answered, righteous is the still man of faith. Taken from him all things edible of earth. Pains cover pains with agony, can give anguish in his heart, yet still without a sound or complaint. Then one of our brothers, fallen from the illustrious light, become engulfed of this envious fire, dug his claws ever so deep into the flesh of Job, turning and scratching at his face, loathsome and never knowing one another, the likes of them as did my servant Job. He defiled his tongue and yet still in his inner heart. He defiled his tongue and yet still in his inner heart. Teach me to be as a mountain, ever so firm, he cried out, for I will hold firm to my true secret. He exclaimed, reaching for his own tongue, holding it with a death grip. Hold thee fast. Help me in my thoughts only, he cried, to understand in that where I have erred. Lose your tongue, lose your tongue, my servant, for you have done no wrong. Why? Then asked he, why be I held responsible for this body of mine? You and your flesh are assigned to all of your kind, and we are a clear proof that in faith there is hope. Halal can't tolerate another the likes of you, yet another suffering for another reason. All suffering is born on a reason. All suffering is born on a reason. Again, all suffering is born on a reason. What you, the blind leading those that are blind, the dark in sight, seeing not the pages of your revelation, seeing not the pages of your revelation because in previous lives they refused to read. How will they be judged? Blind, they are now born blind, for they are not reading the writing given to them in their previous incarnations of death, but never hearing nature's sound, seas, the rushing waters against the shore, nor hummingbirds, the deaf now for not listening, nor hearing the call at 5-point sessions, the 5 prayer of a true Muslim who follows Millat Ibrahim, led by agreeable lights called Imam, after our servant Abram.
Ibrahim. He with his tongue held fast from birth, speechless in this world, for knowing words of great pages, and keeping silent, not speaking them to the needy. His legs could not hold the weight, nor carry to and fro at choice. The limbs never did run to the place of prayer, the best place on the planet Earth to merely say thanks for abundance of agreeable. They say only 5 prayers lessen from 50, as was given to Moses, remaining 7.5 by choice, yet be ever watchful of Kanaz, another title of Shaitan. Ducking seconds, seeking to hide from time, not counting for surely unto as you shall return. I know deep within myself I must be about my Father's work, who is known to you as Allah or God or Yahweh, until my business for which I was sent unto the planet Earth is complete or completes me. Getting a late start, yet arriving early will accomplish plenty in the instructions of the ancient ones. 24, now making 144,000, then on to another sick world, drunk in sin. I never divorced from your love, ever trying planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy, not to disappoint you. Always being mindful of the slightest slur, knowing of the seed that breathed the fig tree and the olive tree, knowing also indeed what you sow, so shall you reap. O you supreme Allah, glorious most high, none has majesty, none has power to sustain except you. One of the most beautiful names. Asma'ul Husna, all the most beautiful names. Husna, beautiful. Wow, ayat, and the sign, the verses. He makes all things from his essence, all of you. In the midst of children, jeweled, bright eyes called Huri, black pearls to say, just think, and we will provide your needs. Just think, and we will provide your needs. He, Anu, Elion, Elionel, never formed, but created all forms, one and many. Many is one created, many delicate treasures. In the midst of the secret creation, the manifestation of creations, then you will find the essence. Here in it is a gift of right wisdom, yet those born wise see it in depth. Numeral 46, 23 chromosomes plus 23 chromosomes equal 46. 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 2. 2 sets of 23 makes up 46. Half of 4 is 2, and half of 6 is 3, giving you 23. So there is much wisdom in the number 46. The numeral 46 is only for the all-wise giver of right knowledge or right wisdom. The numeral 46 is only for the all-wise giver of right wisdom. Each created of his will, not to be seen, the ultimate wise one. If you knew all the things in the planet Earth and not have to serve Anu Elion Elionel, you'll still not be wise. Silence, listening, reading, watching are the schools of the wise men. Few it is who practice it or pass hadith, which is the tales of men. The mysterious ones of the secret ones, being 24 in number, coming down to earth, dressed in pure white robes of linen, for you too be one. You have 3 tests of years from age 30 to 33. 3 tests from age 30 to 33. 1, persistence. 2, endurance. 3, strength. Having 3 teachers with the secret wisdom. 1, mind, Rabboni. 2, spirit, Rabbi. 3, soul, Rab. Disciples, the disciplined body. His school ending on the planet Earth in the lunar login of the year 1970 AD in the Gregorian calendar. His school called Qumran then and Ansar now, having many preserved in pottery jars, hid from the Romans in caves, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Having the secret key to the overstanding of the scripture this day before your weary eyes right now. The scroll of Habakkuk, we have given them that they know they didn't follow him. Herod the Great feared our brother Menahem, called by some Essenes, healers, we be helpers, for faith is the healer. They that meditate upon it and love it shall live for everlasting ages, a treasured gift, never to part with it. Your body has 2 ears, yet 1 mouth. Commandments, listen twice as much as you speak. There is wisdom that he that has an ear hear. The infant says, Yod, on all parts of the planet Earth, yet you seek out this tone of sound, for that is the language of us, the hand that inscribed the scriptures, Yod, and that is Yanun, as Yah, or Yod, the hand, baby. Time to call y'all, baby. That's the names right there. I don't think y'all ready. That is the name right there. Miss Danny, baby. What up, Miss Danny? Great day, Zena. Hope all is well with you, baby. Let me drop it for you real quick. Miss Danny, baby. There it is right there. But turn the page. I'm sorry. Let me give you another one. Because now I'm on something else. I done moved on. I'm on tablet 6 now. Hold up. Now, don't use that one, Miss Danny. Use this one right here. Page 533. That was the name. Y'all want me to do it again, or shall I? Did y'all get it? Do I need to explain some of this to y'all? Woo! Can I light a cigarette? Woo! Can I light a cigarette real quick? Zena. Zena, where you at, baby? Go to the, what's her name, real quick. I want to show you, Sananda went with me. I went to Key West today. I didn't know she filmed me landing the plane at Key West International Airport. You want to see it? You want to see Dawn landing? Zena, real quick, before we get to it. Oh, let me bring Zena in as well. The names, I can do it again for y'all if y'all want me to, man. That shit there is so profound. Zena, give me a mic check, baby.
Hey, mic check.
Great day, Zena. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing today. Where is it at, on YouTube?
I'll play the video on YouTube if you go to YouTube,
okay.
If you want to see it on YouTube. And I got a T too. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, man, it was a lot of turbulence, a lot of wind today. But you know, but yeah, I just got back though. I just got back like about after 9, like 9:10, 9:15. All right, let me pull it up real quick. Y'all, what fun?
You said that shit like it wasn't shit. Like, yeah, I thought about that.
Girl, I gotta get a jet, honey, because goddamn, it probably would only take me 20, 30 minutes to get to goddamn Key West. But shit, man, I'm in a slow ass goddamn plane, man. This shit was it was just like it was just maybe an hour and some change, but it still take long. You know, it ain't like a car. You know what I'm saying? The car, you know, you going somewhere because you passing a bunch of shit.
And the sky is like, what? It feel like you is not even moving.
Going nowhere.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like you ain't going no fucking where. Like, the fuck? Ain't this a bitch? God dang, I just had to keep looking at my ETA and shit. Like, man, God damn, you don't see nothing. Everything stay the same in the sky, man. It's like, God damn. Okay, all right, here it is right here. Let me show you. What up, Ethereum? Great day, baby. Great day, newbie. Hope all is well with you. All right, y'all got the cam up over there? All right, here it is right here. You ready, Zena? Go to YouTube real quick.
I'm ready now. Okay.
Let me blow it. Oh, shit, I ain't mean to share it. Hold up. God damn, hold up. There it is right there. Hold on. Go to YouTube real quick. It ain't on YouTube yet. And I got to pee. Are you ready? See that airport right there? I'm going to pause it real quick. See the airport? See the runway? See the airstrip? There it is. It was a beautiful day, though. I ain't going to need front. Then it just got cold. All right, temperature dropped. Like, what the fuck? All right, here we go. Right there. See, y'all see that airstrip? Yeah, y'all see that airstrip. Let's make it bigger. There it is, right there. Now y'all can really see my face. You see that crosswind coming at my ass and the tail over here and everything. Oh, it's like there was so much snow. Not even just, landing that bitch. It was the whole way there, girl. I'm being knocked out. I'm not really being knocked out of my head, but being knocked like maybe 10 degrees from my head and on the way to Key West. Yeah, baby. That's the name of the back 6 years, and I ain't even know that bitch had. She's done. Watch this. She's done gonna lean up. She gonna lean up in a minute. Did you see the lean up part? I leaned up. I had to lean up.
Yeah,
Let the flaps down, bitch. Let's run that forward. She let the flaps down. There it is. There you go. She's gonna lean up. She just leaned up. Let that flap down on that ass. There it is right there. Goddamn, boy. It landed in Key West International Airspace Beach Airport. All that. Oh, y'all motherfuckers.
Now, what was you flying?
An Archer Piper. Warrior 2, Archer Piper. Yeah, it's the second time I flew that shit. Second time I flew an Archer. Yeah, second time I flew an Archer. So, yeah, he gonna give me the Columbia. He said once we landed this shit and went. Caught us an Uber to like Duval Street and sat down and chilled out for a minute. Oh, that's my instructor with me, because he get the planes for me. And I asked him, did he want to go to Key West? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because Amanda came over. She said she was coming. I was like, we need to go to Key West, bitch, if you coming. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, let me call Ken and have him come with. Because remember, I can't have passengers.
Right.
Yeah. So Ken there for me, and I went and did my logbook once I landed, added in them 300 miles I did to Bahamas, and added this shit and fro. Yeah, because I be quick to get out the car, be forgetting some motherfucker sign my logbook and shit. And nigga turned the page tonight. Nigga turn the page, try to find the next empty page. And that nigga said, God damn, you got a lot of fucking hours. No shit.
That's right.
A lot of fucking Oh, man. Yeah, it is different, though. It is
I'm
different.
surprised. They be acting like they don't want to fly on windy days like what you just experienced. They be like it's too much wind.
Well, it was certain when we took off at the airport in my backyard.
when we took off, it was wind there at the bottom. So what we did was, I just flew about 7,000 feet up. That's where it wasn't no wind. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no turbulence, wasn't none of that. So I stayed really high all the way to Key West. And yeah, well, once I was able to get through the turbulence and shit, I just kept climbing because it was that wind, that turbulence was really like 5,000 feet below. It was just so much. So you can tell now that I'm damn near at 500 feet about the land, and there's so much wind, so much crosswind, so much shit. There was a motherfucker. So yeah, it all depends. Now the reason why, y'all give me 1 second real quick. Let me have this conversation with Zena. The reason why most people, most pilots don't prefer to fly, depending on the wind. Right? It's dependent on basically the knots of the wind, the airspeed, the speed of the wind. And so, and all of that is based on the plane that you're flying.
Right. I was just going to ask.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's going over like 20 knots per hour, like a Cessna, like a 172 Cessna newbie, let's say a 172 Cessna 76. The operating handbook of a Cessna, basically a manual that your car has, it can only take at least 13 knots of wind per hour. You know what I'm saying? So anything faster than 13, 15, 14 knots, you better not fly that Cessna. And speaking of that's like a Cessna 172, an old one, like a 1970. Or some more shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the operating handbook, basically the manual of a plane, it'll tell you how much wind it could take. So, yeah. But the Archer could take it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why most people wouldn't fly depending on what the operating handbook says regarding the plane and how much wind it could take.
Dad, I miss all of that. My mama called.
Oh, you didn't hear that what I said? I said, excuse me, had a conversation
my mama
with
called.
Zena.
My mama called.
Oh, girl, you know what I thought you were saying?
What?
I'm recalling it now. I'm remembering. You was recalling. It was coming back. Okay, I'll say it again. The pilot operating handbook is basically like a car manual. That the manual that comes in the car. So yeah, so in that manual of the aircraft, the aircraft manual, it'll tell you how much wind it can take. So like a Cessna 172, you know what I'm saying? That manual that operating pilot handbook will tell you that it can only take at least 13 knots. Right. And so if the wind was more than 13 knots, you cannot fly that Cessna 172.
Right.
Yeah. So people look at the operating handbook and know, just like a car manual, if particular craft they can fly based on the ATIS or the wind, when what's going on, and the Blixit. The Blixit is like a 1-800 number. It'll tell you everything. It's a person that gets on the phone and talk to you. It'll tell you all the winds. If you tell them where you're going, where you're headed, it'll tell you everything that's happening all the way to your destination, the weather, the winds, the knots, whether it's crosswind and all this type of shit, everything. So, yeah, and that's what you should always do anyway before you, even though I didn't do it. But, like, fucking let's go to Key West. But, yeah. But as soon as I got to the airport here, once I left the house and got to the airport here, when I saw that windsock and I saw that wind, I was like, oh, my God. Oh, but we're going anyway. Yeah. It wasn't bad because I was in the Archer. Even though that Archer is probably, I think the Archer I was in is probably a 70 or 80. This Archer here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, J1 said play it again. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, here we go.
One more time, then we're going to get back to it. All right, that's the runway right there. I ain't even know what that was there. And I'm going to tell you some of my boo-boos, though. I'm going to tell you my boo-boos. I'll be happy. And my man Ken next to me pointed it out. And I said, I'm going to tell you my boo-boo. Hold on, because we landed first. Lean up, baby. Pull your laptop. Uh-huh. So, alright, okay, so here's what gets me every time, okay? Because I do normal traffic patterns and I fly, but when I'm flying to a destination, right? Traffic pattern is so easy. It ain't all you doing is a rectangle around the airport, landing, taking off, rectangle, landing, taking off. You know what I'm saying? And so because I'm so good at traffic patterns. So by the time I'm on the downwind, I'm already setting up to get ready to land. You understand? That's the side of the runway. So he noticed because I've been flying, I haven't been doing traffic patterns. I've been literally flying to other airports, like the one in Bahamas, the airport in Fort Lauderdale, the airport in Pompano, and shit like that, right? And airport in Del Rey, all these fucking airports. So I'm flying from my backyard going to these spots and shit. You understand? And so, which means I'm not doing a traffic pattern. So I'm not setting it up to configure for landing. You got it? Right. Because I'm not familiar with these places. So next thing I know, this nigga is like, you see the fucking runway? And I'm like, yeah. But by this time, I'm like, fuck. You know, it catch me again. All the runways be catching me off guard and shit because I'm used to doing a fucking traffic pattern. You know? So every time I land at these airports and shit, I'm coming in too fast because I'm not set up. I'm not configured. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to doing traffic patterns, going, you know, like if I took off, left crosswind, left downwind, left base, left final, boom, I'm already configured. So mind you, let's say I'm 7 miles out to this airport here, to Key West, right? And now I'm just getting in line, what do you call it? What's the word you call it? Getting straight with the runway, right? But that's all I'm focused on. So, I mean, you know, so it just catches me too fast. You know what I'm saying? The runway catches me too fast, even if I'm 7 miles out. In my mind, I'm thinking 7 miles out. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, lining up with the runway. Yeah, thank you, newbie. So that's my only fucking problem. And he was like, damn, one thing I learned about your ass is we be flying to all these other places and you land, you ain't never fucking ready. I said, exactly. Like, this shit catches me off guard, these airports. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me just doing traffic patterns. So, yeah. So I have to, it's a motherfucker, man. It's a motherfucker. It's just, so, yeah. So all my landings, when I end up in these airspaces ready to fucking land, man, I have to go like, first, I'm second time landing in Key West International Airport. So now I have to find the lights because, you know, it lets you know if you're too high, too low. I'm still going. So by the time I find these damn lights on this damn runway, too high, too goddamn low, red or white. Remember, red, you're dead. White is you too high. So you need to come in low. So now I have to set up, you know, correct all this shit. You know, and of course,
listen, on base, I'm already set up to land if I do a traffic pattern. But I just flew 7,000 feet, dropped down to 3,000 feet, dropped down to 1,000, maintained 1,500 feet all the way there, and then all of a sudden the damn runway right in my face because I'm going straight in, you know? But if he would have said, or if not him, but air traffic control at Key West International or any of them places, they give us clearance to land even if we're 7 miles out because they already know what other planes are around. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's a straight in, no pattern. So normally you get just straight clearance to land 7 miles out. You feel me? Like you clear to land. What the fuck? I ain't even ready. I ain't even set up. When do I set up? You know, like how will I? And then I need to be able to find the damn airport first. You know? So the key thing is you got to keep looking until you see the airport, you know? Right.
No,
So, girl, it's hard sometimes. I'll be like, where the fuck is the runway? Which runway? What? I can't see what the fuck. That's why I say it's important that you got to get your eyes checked. You got to get some stronger prescription and shit. Yeah, Delta was there. Delta, JetBlue, United. But it wasn't as busy today as the first time I got there. The first time I went in February. First time I went to it, my second time flying in the international airport. The first time Delta, JetBlue was behind me. You know what I'm saying? The lineup to take off. Delta was in front of me and shit. And my little plane was in the middle. And shit. I was in a Cessna that day. That motherfucker little put. So, yeah. Huh?
I said Delta had to wait on you.
No, Delta was in front. I was number 2, and Sky Blue was number 3. JetBlue was number 3. Yeah. Yeah, and it took Delta damn near 30 minutes to take off. I'm like, what the fuck? I was already tired, too. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I watched them do run-up. That shit look different, honey. Them planes look different when you right there next to the motherfucker. You feel me? That shit there. That shit hit different. I finally saw the vortices. It let out when it took off, man. That was nice. I felt like a little kid. Finally get to see a lot of that shit. But yeah, so no, we were already in the lineup. Delta was number 1 at the whole shoreline. Already was given clear for takeoff, and I was next, and JetBlue was after me, and I forgot what Delta said. What Delta said at the tower, though, I forgot. Delta said something like, man, you got to give up about 20 more goddamn minutes or some old shit. I don't fucking know what Delta said. So, woo! But that's that, man. Yeah, that's Don landing. Somebody finally caught it. Somebody caught that thing, so now they went with me. Because we was thinking like, you know, because she was like, why don't we just drive? I said, bitch, I would never, ever drive any fucking where ever again. Fuck that. Let me make a call, bitch. I was like, and it's interesting too because our Uber guy at the airport, when he picked us up, right? So we all get in the car, and the Uber guy, he's actually a pilot too. But the sad thing about him being a pilot is that he is a foreigner, girl. And I think he's from Argentina. And the sad thing about it is he lost all his commercial and pilot shit privileges. Because Argentina or whatever country he's from wouldn't send all his information to the FAA in America, to the Federal Aviation Administration. So this nigga got to start where I'm at, a student pilot all over again.
Damn.
Ain't that a bitch?
He has to start all the fuck over. This nigga was flying forever. Yeah. He got to start all over. He got to get a flight instructor. He got to go to flight school. He got to take them damn goddamn. But why I said that shit, because while he was talking to us, taking us to Mallory Square, is because he said something. He was like, I can take y'all there, because come to find out he's from West Palm. He's staying in West Palm, and I'm in West Palm, and Ken ain't far from me. And of course, he said, well, if you need a driver, I can take y'all wherever we said we were gonna go look in Key West. And the pot, my instructor said, Ken said this. That nigga said some shit like, he said, oh, we don't drive nowhere, we fly. Nigga said, we up in the plane, bitch, just to go down the street. I'm for real. Like, y'all don't understand. It's an airport after airport. Y'all know how many McDonald's everywhere? It's an airport next city, which ain't number 5-10 minutes away from you. And if I wanted to go have lunch with my daughter in Fort Lauderdale, I just fly there and land at Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, and boom, land, boom, and she picked me up in her car or whatever, and we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody than it is cars, to be honest with you. But I'm over exaggerating with that. Yeah, man, that's what I told Fernanda. And then our homeboy said that shit today. We fly just to go down the street, girl. Yeah, Florida is which I didn't know, but Florida is the aviation. Yeah, it's an airport back to back to back. You'll never, girl, if you ever run out of gas, bitch, that don't make no sense. You can land up and take off. It's a million fucking airports. Yeah. You can just airport hop if you like. Just to eat dinner, just to eat, just to have lunch. Airports have nice restaurants and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They do. We love them airports.
Yeah, they just fly in.
Everybody know which one is the nice one. That's a good one.
They'll tell you too what's a good place to go eat at. A pilot would recommend the nicest airport than any place. Yeah, just to go have lunch. It's one of them. I checked them out, but I didn't really like the menu. Yeah, I was gonna fly, but I ain't like the menu they had. But ones to eat that. But those are for meat eaters, and mind you, Caucasians like flesh. So they're selling real. Was a meat eater. And the ambiance is nice and shit. But yeah, shit. You heard about John Travolta? He just got his 747 ratings. Did I tell you that?
No, not that.
Yeah. He bought. You can buy a plane without even having license. Ratings.
Wow.
That he you have to it ain't like know how we end up driving a Honda then or a Taurus and shit, and you still got that. Well, every plane is different in a sense, so you have to get tested and get your ratings for. So technically, I'm getting ratings. For real, bitch, I done flew a twin engine fucking plane like 3 Sundays ago for the first time. You know what I'm saying? I'm 47 now.
Wow, that's a big ass plane.
Man, you check out that motherfucker house. It looks so. See all these big ass planes parked in his driveway. Wow. That shit look weird. It looks so out of place. You know what I'm saying? You see this regular house, all this damn land. You see cars parked in front of the front door and planes as well. This motherfucking driveway. Huge ass planes. Home.
of his aircraft, and you'll see it. That nigga park his shit right in his front yard, shouting. You know how they be having them wrap around drive. Do you see them big ass planes and them little bitty cars next to it and shit? Yeah. It should look kind of weird.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
Indeed, J1. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. She wants it. She says she can't wait to open up her because you have to be healthy and fit before you start any flying classes first. Well, kind of, sort of. Before you get your air medical license, because you got to first, and they check you out first. And some people don't get there. But you got to have your medical license first. Then you send that. Then FAA send you your student pilot card, like a driver's license. So get your student pilot card. You cannot get your student pilot card unless you pass the medical exam. And which is why I got to go harder and harder. Cardio. Make sure I ain't got no liquor in my blood, in my piss.
Yeah, leave that CBD. Don't mess with that CBD. I tell you that much. It'll show up.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Goddamn, I'm so glad. Get your ass up out of here.
I'm talking about the smoke, the bud. Don't buy that. The
Oh,
flower.
no. I'm not going to smoke no marijuana.
I thought I was getting.
It's interesting because alcohol is permitted, but no marijuana. You do that shit, you're out. Yeah. That's amazing, right?
Because I thought I had a scapegoat. I was like, oh, I can just do this. It's like, no, that is not going to work.
Listen, man, my first time, it was my first time ever not getting. I ain't gonna lie, I was doing 20 miles per hour in a 70-mile fucking interstate. I wasn't paranoid, man. I was just gliding, man, just gliding in the fucking car, man. And I was coming from Macon, and I lived about, let's say, an hour from Macon. That's 2 hours, because I was just chilling in the car. Laid back, driving that bitch like just like a turtle, man. I was just like, that was the best time of my life right there. Wasn't in a hurry, wasn't speeding with the rest of the fucking cars, man. I was just like, that I would never drive high. And that day I forgot. One of them days you forget. And I smoked some at my boy house and jumped in the car a little bit later, man. That thing I know, and my first time I said, man, I need to drive high. For damn life, I'll never get a goddamn ticket. Man, never. I mean, when I tell you, nigga, I wasn't even doing the speed limit. I'm under though. No, I'm not doing about sober motherfucker do goddamn 20 miles over the speed limit, won't it? 20, 30 miles over. No motherfucker with no intoxicant in his system. I had some of that Mary Jane motherfucker, man. Shit. Down the interstate. Flowing real slow and shit. Yeah. All right, let's get into this shit, man. Zim, you ready? Y'all, ready, Miss Danny? I ain't say nothing about no ashtray, but I tell you one thing. I wish it was one in that plane today, man. Like, man, all I need is a fucking cigarette. That should be so fire.
What?
I ain't gonna lie, I prefer driving. I can't smoke in that bitch. Could. I am once I get my own fucking plane. When I get my That bitch. Okay. Putting that on record. Yeah, I am lighting one up. Got down head and getting to where I'm going with a cigarette and listening to fucking music. You know what I'm saying, Zena? What do you do when you drive? Man, eat ice. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I gotta stay busy and listen to some music. Man, this shit boring as fuck. Ain't no action. It's just slow motion up there, man. Damn. Yeah, and I get sleepy, man. Like, damn, I can't even light no cigarette in this bitch. Keep the brain active. Because really, the plane will fly itself. What the fuck am I doing? I like to have multiple things going on at the same damn time. You feel me? Like the hand to mouth action. Yeah, that keeps the brain moving and shit. You know, you just I get my goddamn plane, baby. I'm 2 minutes away from getting me a plane. 2 minutes. That's how close I am. I'm about to get me a goddamn plane. Be lighting up in that bitch, man. Fuck what you heard. Flying to the grocery store, nigga. Fuck what you saying. I'm gonna fly to the corner store in that bitch. All right. Nah, nigga. Planes had ashtrays in that bitch. Plane I flew, it was like a fucking 1960. It was probably 1968, man. That bitch had an ashtray in that motherfucker. And I'm like, smoking this bitch. No window, that shit. How the fuck was they smoking?
Yeah. Hot box and shit.
Yeah, man, what the fuck? There. Yeah, but I'm still gonna smoke in my motherfucker. You can open up a window. Y'all didn't know that, right? You can crack a window. Window of the plane I flew today had a little open spot. You can just crack within the window, a little like a little mouse hole, you know, like Jerry on Tom and Jerry hole, about that size. You open that little bitch up, get you some fresh air. Anyway, but I'm still smoking in that bitch. More than likely, I probably won't. But anyway, y'all ready? Let's get into some holy Catholic. 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. So, yeah. So, don't be looking at the time, what y'all looking at now, because we're going to be 16 minutes after. All right. Whisperer. Oh, 608 and y'all got me talking about some bullshit, smoking and high and cannabis and nigga, this is 608 fucking verses. All right, y'all ready? 19 times 3208, baby. Page 533 of the third edition of the L's Holy Tablet, The Whisperer. Remember, y'all, we are in the Human Beast chapter, and it's about to get really freaking good. About to get really good. All right, here we go. Stop me at any time, anybody. And we're going into the next hour, but we actually have 16 minutes before we go into the next hour in real life, because we started 16 minutes later. Started the show. All right, Kaloon, are you there yet, Zena? 533?
Yes.
Everybody there? Everybody there? Everybody there? Everybody there? You there, newbie? Okay, here we go. Tablet 6, Kaloon, the Whisperer. Lo, let me, Yanin, speak to you about Zuin, called by you in the Ashuric, now called Arabic language, Azazel. Born of fire, out of anger. That ain't what it say. Sorry. My mind is like, you should get some marijuana tomorrow. Call your plug up. My bad, got distracted. Tablet 6, the Whisperer. Lo, let me, Yanin, speak to you about Zuin, called by you in the Ashuric, now called Arabic language, Azazel. Azazel is the one, by the way, that you'll find in the movie Fallen. And you really pay attention to that shit, you'll see how it jumps from person to person, all just weak people. Okay, one more time. Kalum, Lo. Let me, Yanin, speak to you about Zuin, called by you in the Ashuric, now called Arabic language, Azazel. Born of fire out of anger, the being that fell from grace. In the same 6th day that human beings were created in the likeness of the Anunnaki, the light of Sarufat. Creatures being already in existence did make a pact and pledge with him, the evil whisperer, as did Cadman with his father Atum. Let's do that again. Creatures being already in existence did make a pact and pledge with him, the evil whisperer, as did Cadman with his father Atum. They listened to his evil whispering of a period of time and then transgressed the divinely set barriers that kept them pure and apart. He's talking about Cadman, them, his side of the family, Zena. You know, that's what he's talking about. They listened to his evil whispering of a period of time and then transgressed the divinely set barriers that kept them pure in heart. Yeah, the more you listen to that whisper, oof. Because they defiled their creator, Al-Bari, the maker, they fell from grace, and the love of Anu vanished from their hearts. They themselves are a part of the Alahum as Garubat, leaving them degrading the truth and coveting falsehood because their nature underwent a profound metamorphosis. Leaving them degrading the truth and coveting falsehood because their nature underwent a profound metamorphosis. Even at this very moment, when I am about to open your eyes to his, Azazel's, most recent appearance, he endeavors to prevent my pen. For I know him as he knows me, and he has come in the person of the pale seed, the lepers, or the ghost, and holy they are not. They are of the 6 ether essence. 9 ether produces 6 ether, and 6 ether produces ghost. 9 ether becomes 6 ether through time and age, and 6 ether becomes ghost through time and age. 6 ether is 9 ether in death, and ghost is the death of 6 ether. After the death of 6 ether, called the moon or ghost cycle, 9 ether rises again. Hence, 6 ether is adverse to 9 ether, just as death is adverse to life. 9 ether is ether in its youth, strength, and old age, and 6 ether is ether in death. Therefore, ghost is the death of death. Ghost is the death of death. Like everything else, when death gets old, it dies, and ether comes back to life in the person of 9 ether. Do it again. Like everything else, when death gets old, it dies. That's a strong part. Death gets old, y'all. Like everything else. When death gets old, it dies. And ether comes back to life in the person of 9 ether. Hey, take it back one more page. Go backwards one time. Go back to verse 9. 9 ether produces 6 ether, and 6 ether produces ghost. 9 ether becomes 6 ether through time and age, and 6 ether becomes ghost through time and age. 6 ether is non-ether in death, and ghost is the death of 6 ether. After the death of 6 ether, called the moon or ghost cycle, non-ether rises again. Hence, 6 ether is adverse to non-ether, just as death is adverse to life. Non-ether is ether in its youth, strength, and old age, and 6 ether is ether in death. Therefore, ghost is the death of death. Like everything else, when death gets old, it dies, and ether comes back to life in the person of non-ether. For he forever tries to wrestle with the heart of the first human being, infecting it so that he, Azazel, can win a place for himself. He forever tries to wrestle with the heart of the first human being, infecting it so that he, Azazel, can win a place for himself. And we came out of triple darkness 76 trillion years ago of the planet's Earth time at the height of our story or our history. We resided in air pockets in the form of floating gases while creating this universe, yet he lives within ammonia near the Earth. We created 10 air pockets in space and beyond space called spheres, which gave each planet its distance of proper rotation around your sun. Neither energy nor matter can be destroyed by you or him. It merely changes in appearance. So ponder this ever so deeply, for he is the art deceiver. Constantly, they scream for human dignity, for they know deep in their hearts they're not dignified, nor are they just human. They use the full extent of their power to keep you at a distance and from afar. For once you have come close enough, you see from their eyes to their hearts, and there you will find an empty space, for no soul sets there, just the life spirit. No treasures, no wisdom, no logic, merely hate, envy, and greed. There was a man sent whom you called Brutus Peter, and he was given a scripture called Jude. In it, we describe the disobedience of those Anunnaki who fell from grace because they sinned. Halal also originated the blasphemous practice of sun worship. Because his planet is Anshar, Saturn, he had elected Saturday as the day of worship. Thus, Saturday and Sunday has been set aside for their days of worship. So remember, he draws all kinds of unsaintly displays and carves all forms of demons that he remembers from his past, for they are locked in his evil heart, and it is an inextricable part of his architecture. So remember, he draws all kinds of unsaintly displays and carves all forms of demons that he remembers from his past, for they are locked in his evil heart, and it is an inextricable part of his architecture. But if you travel to the western part of our resided spot from Becca, you will find throughout the land of Arabia and Qodesh, which we now call the East Jerusalem in Iraq, the most holy city with our language, Arabic, praising the name of our Father. The beautiful mosaics describing the Anunnaki and the creations and our arrival here on Tiamat, now called the planet Earth. A person's nature is reflected in their art, and this alone should tell you how important it is to separate yourself from this human-like creature. Again, a person's nature is reflected in their art. And this alone should tell you how important it is to separate yourself from this human-like creature. Remember our son Moses, called in tones Moshe and Musa, the student of thought, also called Tahuti, for he also received the law, Ha-Torah, for his children and those after him. He is not to be mistaken for Noah, called in tones Adnam Fishtim, Nuach, and Nuh, Nuh's children, and not to be mistaken for Abram, who was changed to Abraham and called in tones Ibrahim's children. And they are not to be mistaken for Isaac, who is called in tones Yishak and Isaac's children. And not to be mistaken for Ishmael, called in tones Yishmael and Ismael's children. For all of these are of the seed of the Enochites who lived before the law of Moses. It would be a strange thing for them. Herein you will find undisputable directions that all beings on Al-Ard are not classified as brothers. All beings are not classified as brothers. Herein you will find undisputable directions that all beings on Al-Ard are not classified as brothers. Being created from a single male and female, yet made tribes and families. And this is wisdom for him that is wise. This is in no way to be overlooked. Nevertheless, the practice of intermarriage is constantly being encouraged by the fools on your side and the wiser on theirs. This was a command from the galactical heavens enjoining creatures to fast. Both humans and beasts, as well as herds and flocks, will refrain from eating and drinking. However, it is very important that you understand that this proclamation was addressed only to human and human beasts. And it says, and I quote, "And then there was another very important point in time for man. You know him as our servant Johanna or Giannis or Johanna, son of Amittai and Reruma. We sent this message in Jonah, the third degree, third chapter, 7th, 8th, and 9th verses. Quote, and he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Naivah by the decree of the ruler of his nobles, saying, let neither Adamite, mortal man, nor BEHAYMAW, beast of the field, herd nor flock, taste anything. Let them not feed nor drink water. But let Adamites, mortal man, and BEHAYMAW, non-speaking mammal, be covered with sackcloth, a garment worn in mourning, and cry mightily unto the Elohim, and let them turn every one from his raw, disagreeable ways, and from the Kamas, violent cruelty, that is in their palm of the human hands. Who can tell if Elohim will turn and Nachim, be sorry and repent, and turn away from his fierce anger, that we perish not? In the second part, only human and human beast is mentioned, not herds, nor the flocks and the domestic animals. For human and human beasts were to put on the sackcloth of mourning. Both man and beast were to cry mightily unto the Most High. This is a very important point, for it implies cry unto Anu, and that they should pray, and that they should dress. But there is no beast in the earth that needs to dress, and no other creature in Tiamat, now called the planet Earth, save human that can speak. So the point of being made is that the original Nubian, Ta'ite, Ethiopian, Cushite was there residing beside a what? A human beast, a flugeroid. We know that Jonah was sent to Nineveh, Babylon, the city where the people of Nod migrated under Nimrod, where he, by ego, transformed from the best of servants to desiring to rule the very heavens, changing Calneh from the fortress of Anu to the seat of his selfish desires. He did rule over the cursed seed of Canaan, the albino race, melanin recessive, who mixed in with the Halabians, the Flugerods, or Hulub, to become the human beast that speaks and dresses, under one of our own called Nimrod, who fell from grace like Lucifer, for he also fell from grace. But he fell from grace for questioning the divinity. Tiamat, now called the planet Earth, has known his presence ever since. Woe unto the inhabitants of Tiamat, now called the planet Earth, by way of this truth. Both human and human beasts were to return from their evil ways and refrain from the shedding of blood. But nay, Nimrod endeavored to conquer the whole world, for he was a master and advocate of violence. And there, awaiting him, was an abode of fire, wherein he will find no helper abiding therein everlasting. So I question you, who are the beasts who have hands, but differently than the four-footed domestic animals? These beasts who were to put on sackcloth petitioned the Elohim for mercy. They were to pray and ask the Elohim to forgive them and turn them from disagreeableness. In other words, they were creatures who were sentenced to the physical form on Tiamat, now called the planet Earth, and as a result, they had to cover themselves in sackcloth. For Anu, the Most High, was giving them a chance to repent. Halal was called also the most subtle of all beasts of the field when referring to the enclosed garden of the light. Anu, the Most High, commanded the Anunnaki Kakael to speak to Cadman and the Kaber, saying, I have appointed this garden for your abode. It will shelter you from the cold and the heat, and from hunger and thirst. Partake of it as you will, save one fruit, which is an abomination unto you. This was ordained so that man could learn to exercise will. But this injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability to utilize will knowingly. I'll do that again. This was ordained so that man could learn to exercise will. But this injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability to utilize will knowingly. For this attribute was an inherent part of human's nature and was therefore locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power to do the will of Elyon El, the Most High. I'll do that again. This was ordained so that man could learn to exercise will. But this injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability, but this injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability to utilize will knowingly. For this attribute was an inherent part of human's nature and was therefore locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power. Will was locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power to do the will of Elyon Elunel, the Most High. Come on now. I got to do it one more time for y'all. Let's go back a little bit more. You can have everything in this motherfucking garden, but don't fuck with that fruit, right? This was ordained so that man could learn to exercise will. But this injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability to utilize will knowingly. For this attribute was an inherent part of human's nature and was therefore locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power to do the will of Elyon Elunel, the Most High. Please tell me y'all who ain't sleep on this one right here. This is before they even knew of will, that they even had it. And therefore, because it was locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power, that's why it's not just will. You got to put the power next to will. On the other side of will, it's will power. Locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power to do the will of Elyon Elunel, the Most High. You have that power to do the will. For he is a whisperer. Nope, beware. One more time. Hakael, 76, told Adam and Eve, Nekeba and Cadman, I have appointed this garden for your abode. It will shelter you from the cold and the heat, and from hunger and thirst. Partake of it as you will, save one fruit, which is an abomination unto you. This was ordained so that man could learn to exercise will. But this injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability to utilize will knowingly. For this attribute was an inherent part of human's nature and was therefore locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power to do the will of Elyon Elunel, the Most High. Beware that you transgress not this first and one command, and watch out for the slanderer, the flatterer, called Kanaz. For he is a whisperer, and he is your open enemy, overthrown on your account. For he wanted the wisdom that you possess, and he desired to be great as you. And beware of the trick of will. Beware of the trick of will. Will being a gift, like fire. Fire can be used positively or negatively. Like water, it can be used positively or negatively. And like the spirit, it can be used positively or negatively. So be ever watchful of will, for its cunningness is infinite, and its aim is at your destruction. That is so true. Nuba, this take me back to Mind Your Mind for the Jews of Your Soul show. Last Strong. Wait, Last Strong? Yeah. All right. A couple of days ago, yeah, when we did the Mind book, it reminds me of that. And its aim is at your destruction. And remember, I said, Newbie, every time I used my will, I was fucking myself up. Remember that? I said that on the show 4 or 5 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago.
And I just said, fuck that. Y'all can have this fucking wheel. I'm only going to do what you want me to fucking do. Every time I fucking do that shit, it fucks me up. So, yeah, let's take it back. Beware. Let's go back to the bottom, 537. For he wanted the wisdom that you possess, and he desired to be as great as you. And beware of the trick of will, verse 87. Beware of the trick of will. Will being a gift, like fire, can be used positively or negatively. Like water can be used positively or negatively. Negatively. And like the spirit, it can be used positively or negatively. So be ever watchful of will. It's amazing because it's so many things that you have to be on watch for, y'all. You have to be on watch for the mind. You got to be on watch for the will. You got to be on watch for a dazzle that done jumped in somebody close to you body. You got to be watchful of your thoughts. It's a lot you got to be on watchful for. You got to be, it's a lot. And of course, we walk around this bitch totally freaking forgetting about what? Will, yo. Just like it said, rewind it back. Let me bring Newbie in real quick. Newbie, give me a mic check. Is this you?
Hotep, how you doing, Don?
Great day, Newbie. How you doing, baby? You good?
I'm doing my best, Don.
No, Zena, you want me to open up that mic, that underscore mic?
Yeah.
You want me to open it up just in case my switchboard go down or something?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. Just having to look at this.
Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
So Don.
Uh-huh.
Before we even get into the will, I was looking at page 534, and I was looking at verse 28. Halal also originated the blasphemous practice of sun worship.
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on. So, the Egyptians were blasphemous?
Well,
because they were sun worshippers.
If you go back to,
Atunre, Amun-Re, those are sons.
Not necessarily. He had to
unless
give
they're
you
talking
those.
about the Trinity.
He gave you those three, but you already know what it is. The hidden one, the undifferentiated. Yeah, when you come into AEO, you know that the light is confusion, but when you go into AEO, the darkness, you'll get all the true intellect or the greater meanings or the greater mysteries of the opposites. We're in opposites, right? So what's Atum Ray? What's Atum? What's Amun?
Amun's hidden, correct?
And what's Atun? Hey, it's been a long time for me. But you got the hidden, the undifferentiated one,
right?
And the what? And what's the other one?
Oh, man, I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Amun is the hidden.
Right. What's the other one? Yeah, we know Amun, Atun, and Atum. But I'm asking for the meaning of it. The hidden one, the undifferentiated one. Fuck, I need my ass kicked.
I need my ass kicked. I did the damn prayer today. What the hell?
Oh shit. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. But
I really need a kick.
Well, the point I'm getting at is that it also said, he said that, well, it's so many that bought it in, but they all black devils. I think he even said the Hindus did it. I know Nimrod did it. The Pope does it. You know, if you follow the master, the Supreme Grand Master Teacher, all the way, even in classes, he actually gives you a little bit more who bought in sun worship. Not just halal, but in this verse, it's halal, but it's so many others that also bought it in.
Because I know it was all related to Saturnalia.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, the wheel. Shall we begin?
We shall.
Yeah. So, the wheel, be watchful. That was my point. Something that we totally forget that you had. Oh, that was the point. That's what I want to bring back. Let's go back to page 537. 537, verse in to learn to exercise will, verse 80, then verse 81. This injunction was prior to human becoming cognizant of his ability to utilize will. So we have to be cognizant all day, every day, that we know we got this thing called will that is a what? An attribute that was inherent, was an inherent part of human's nature and was therefore locked in his genes as a manifestation of his power to do the will of Elunel, the Most High, which I ain't really got to say all of that. But it was there, but they didn't know it was there. So, every day you really don't even know it's there, right? When y'all know y'all had will today, y'all used it today?
Hell no.
Hell no. And you don't even know when you don't use it. So we're not really cognizant of it.
And if we know that we didn't use it, that means we didn't use it properly. That
means, it was you already know. Yep. And that's why he says, so be ever watchful of will, for its cunningness is infinite. He say the same shit about the mind. Be ever watchful of the mind, for its cunningness is infinite as well. And it's interesting because the mind and the will is a bitch because it does what? Its aim is at your destruction. Both of them little motherfuckers.
And the mind doesn't like to be watched.
Yeah. And so now we have to be ever watchful of will, because the mind gonna use it. Everybody gonna use your will except for you using the will to do the will of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Baby, will you suck my dick, please? See, the word will is there. See, will you? Will you? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Once you put it in that context, Don.
Yeah, the word
definitely.
Will is there. So that person don't even know, it's not even causing it, that it's using his will. Or someone else is using it. Yeah, the word will is there, Shadow. Will you come over? Will you call me tomorrow? That means I am commanding your will to will you to call me tomorrow.
Absolutely, Don. Absolutely.
Yeah. And your will, what's that page say? I'm tired of flipping over. What's the bottom page, the bottom of 53, 537 say? What's the will was for? Not the bottom. Verse 82, 83, verse 81. What's the will was for? What it was stored in our genes, locked in our genes as a manifestation of our power. Mm-hmm. Of our power to do the will of Elunel, the Most High. Not nobody else's. Not do nobody else's will.
So how do we know what is Elunel's will?
You will know because you'll only be using it to do the will of Elunel. And when you do the will of Elunel, it's whatever Elunel will. And trust me, it is not suck my dick.
Oh, we know that.
It's the most highest fucking shit. That's when extreme trust and all that shit got to come in. Because it's going to make you look good out here in these streets.
When you do the will, when you use that willpower to do the will, you have a new power at that point. It's power. Willpower. Go back to that last. It's power. Right.
Sean, I understand that. I understand. That's when you know that you're on the path. But how do you know distinctively
that's what I'm saying.
That you're doing that work?
You will know. Well, first, have you ever volunteered to do the will of the Most High, Elunel?
Have I ever volunteered? How do you volunteer yourself?
I told you that the other day on the show.
Oh, I do.
I said, motherfucker, I was 25 years old. My life been good ever since.
Okay.
25 years old. I said, I'm done. I'm not, yo, you get this will, you can have it, and from this point on, goddamn it, I'll do whatever the fuck you tell me to do and not what these mortals tell me to do. You control the strings of the course of my life. I'm done. Every time I use my fucking will, it fucks me up. And so from there, I gave the will back to do only the will of the Most High, highest. From there, like I wouldn't budge. I wouldn't do shit. Just wash my hair, play spider, and just wait. I would play spider solitaire and just wait. That's what I would do. I wouldn't bust a nut, wouldn't do shit. Somebody say, can you come outside? I say, hell nah. Just wait, because you will hear it. You will hear it. Next thing I know, I heard a voice, get up, do this, that, and the third. And I did it, and it just, and then do this, go here, go there, say this to this person, just telling me everything to say and goddamn do, and I did the will. What they will for me to do, not what I will myself to do, because that shit sucks. And besides, I didn't have a better taste for myself. So I already knew that these highly evolved, like super goddamn luxurious beings had a hell of a lot more taste than I did. And I knew they can get me out of the hell that I was in. That's why I gave up the will. I knew they can get me out of this shit. Yep. That's why extreme trust come in, but you have to give it to them. That's that saying that a lot of you hear Christians say, give it to God. Well, that they really meaning is the will. You got to get that shit over. You got to fucking let them, you have to be employed by them. You know what I'm saying? You have to want a job, Joe. You know what I'm saying? You have to want a job. You want them to employ you. You know what I'm saying? You want them. When you work for them, they supply everything. Jay, when you remember I had this conversation many moons ago? Same way if you get a job on the physical plane right now, right? They're not going to ask you to bring a cash register to Walmart if you was getting a job at Walmart for a cashier. They're not even going to ask you to bring $250 to set your drawer up. They're not even going to even ask you to bring the belt that the food or the items or the merchandise that's at Walmart, they supply everything for you. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. When I figured out the way that as above, so below works, you understand, is when I decided to only work for the Most High Highest. And I've been supplied for ever since. I only do their work, their bidding. I do nobody else's shit. And they supply me with all the benefits, what y'all get, 401k? Well, I get a 401k. I get to go in that bitch all day, every day. That's why they say the cup runneth over. Your cup is either half empty or half full, depending on if you're a pessimist or optimist. My shit runneth over, my cup. Not to talk shit about it, but it just works that way. But you have to have extreme trust because the job description requires a lot of Not you sacrificing yourself like religion have you believe. Basically, you getting rid of everything and everyone and every fucking body so you can keep your goddamn job and getting all these great benefits and the inheritance of not neither. So you do the will of the boss. When you do the will of your boss, you clock in to work. They tell you what you got to do. You're doing the will of the motherfucker upstairs that told you that's your job description. You are doing Mr. Boss will. I use my will to do the most highest will. That's my boss. I ain't got to want for shit. As long as I just keep doing it. You feel me? So that's what it is. It'll confirm itself, but trust comes in. And sometimes you fuck around and forget. You know, you will. We get real cocky. We level up, become a manager over a few motherfuckers, a supervisor, and all of that. And now we get the company card, and we tend to forget how we received all these by simply obedience. You know what I'm saying? As above, so below. Even on this physical plane at jobs, you keep getting a raise, you keep getting into a better position, and you tend to forget. You know what I'm saying? That you received all of that based on your obedience. If you go to the names, the beginning of the names tablet, it's just 36 verses, newbie. But it also tells you about the 3 schools. The 3 schools was what? Consistency. If you can go to that real quick, the last tablet, the names before we end this one. Consistency. You know, some more other shit. The 3 schools. You know what I'm talking about, baby?
Yeah, I'm turning the page. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, the 3 schools. It's the names, the one I did 2 hours ago. It gives you the 3 schools. It's actually the last page. I think the 3 schools is on the last page.
See, the name's on 528.
Okay, I need to go to 528, babe.
That's where the name tablet is.
Oh, yeah. Right. So go to the last
page 533.
533. Yes. Yeah. That's it. There you go. 34. Get there, Zena, and read it. 34 all the way until I tell you. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm not trying to force you to read it. You mind using your will to read it?
I have it if you want me to read it.
Zeno, can you please suck my dick? Will you please suck my dick? Would you lose your will to suck my dick? Look, Zeno, read it for me.
All right. Silence, listening, reading, Cologne. Silence, listening, reading, watching are the schools of the wise men. Few it is who practice it or pass hadith. The tales of men. Pass hadith, the tales of men.
Right. Few it is who practice it. Yeah. Few it is who practice it. Practice it. What is the it who practice? What is the it that they
hadith.
Practice?
Silence, listening, reading.
Silence, listening, reading, and watching. Right? And few it is who practice it. Or what? Past hadith. Hadith. The tales of men or words of men. Don't bother. They pass that. They don't even listen to the words of men. Okay? Remember, even Yahshua said, take heed that no man what? Deceive you. And the hadith ain't got nothing but words of men placed in books or in scriptures that will deceive so many people. Keep going.
The mysterious ones. The mysterious ones of the secret ones, being 24 in number, coming down to earth, dressed in pure white robes of linen. For you to be one, you have 3 tests of years from age 30 to 33. 1, persistence. 2, endurance. 3, strength. Having 3 teachers with the secret wisdom. 1, Rabboni, mind. 2, Rabbi, spirit. 3, Rab, soul. Disciples.
So you can stop there. That's it. So, and do y'all remember when Don was about to hit 30? And I said this is key because a lot of us, we were still in our 20s 13 years ago, 11 years ago, 10 years ago. We were hitting our 30s. You remember, Zena? We was becoming in our 30s. And I said, yo, we need to start preparing for our 30s. All this bullshit we've been doing in our 20s, we have to stop it before we hit our 30s. So that way what? We'll be persistent. Some of us still are to this day, and we damn near about to hit 45, 44 this year, or 46, you know. We got in a new hypnotic rhythm before we hit 30. Those three tests: persistence, endurance, and strength. Some of y'all was around at that time. Some saw it as a joke, saw it as bullshit, and you can tell, look at where they at. And I don't mean externally, internally in their 40s now. You know what I'm saying? Look at where they at. Some saw it as a joke. I said, let's get our health together, right? We had this conversation. Meaning Newbie, not to point at you, but this conversation always pop up when it comes to the will. You just wasn't around as much. But in the tablets, that will, and like we have to learn to use it properly. So we have to start getting ready. We can't just be doing this regular ass shit. A lot of us stop fucking by the time before we hit 30, and I did. You know what I'm saying? And started preparing ourselves for these 3 tests, these years. You're supposed to prepare that in your 20s. So you start to try to master all that discipline, that persistence, endurance, and strength, and all that shit. So by the time we hit 34 on up into our 40s, motherfucker, we got a whole nother level of persistence, endurance, and strength now. Something totally different now. You feel me? For those 3 stages. Yeah. So, damn, Newbie, I apologize. I don't even know why I had Zena read this shit back to you for. Totally forgot. Sorry. Oops. I don't even know what the point was. Like,
we were talking about the will, Dot.
Oh, okay. And of course, yeah, and the three tests, the persistence, the endurance, and strength. That's why I said it takes a lot of extreme trust. You know what I'm saying? When you're working with, well, first of all, listen, it's probably hundreds of thousands of people that work for Walmart, yet never met the man with the Walton family itself. So it's hundreds of thousands, and I will be exact, 144,000 people who work for the Most Highest and never even seen his face. We get our orders, the orders come down, and we get it done. As above, so below, it's no difference. The only difference is faith is seeing to you motherfuckers and believing. You know what I'm saying? Our faith is knowing. Knowing. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what we asked to give up and knowing what we are willing to be without so that we can receive so much better. Knowing is in the dark. Seeing is in the light. So it's time, and I know it's time for you, newbie, to now go in the dark and see them lights that shine in the dark with your eyes closed. And but it takes extreme trust, baby. You'll see it. You'll know it. You'll know it. You'll know it.
You know, nobody really knows the power of the Most High until it has nothing. You know that, right? Till it has nothing, then you'll see the power. But because we think that everything that it is true. What they say, you reap what you sow. So whatever you're doing, you know, whatever the work that you're doing or whatever you're doing, you will receive something from it. But we sometimes think it's because of us is the reason why we can cash a check, because of the work we've done. But do you really understand that they were the ones that made them motherfuckers hire you or tell you yes? They control good and evil. They control every last mortal. That mortal could shut the door on you or open the door for you. But we always think it's us. The poor man, you know, the poor man, rich man, right? The rich man knows where exactly he got his wealth from. The rich man gives a portion of his wealth to the poor man, but the poor man doesn't thank the rich man. The poor man gives thanks and praises to Elunel, because he know that Elunel used that motherfucker to bless him. You know? That's a different mentality. So you don't thank the rich man, you thank Elunel for sending the rich man to give you some goddamn money. It's a big difference. Right? And what did, and even in the word thank you, right, Zena? Please explain that one more time so nobody won't forget until about 3 days later.
But I gotta
the thank you part. Wait. Say the thank you. Remember the thank you, right?
What we read years ago?
Yeah, and you mentioned it like some shows ago in the joke to my ass.
I'm trying to find it.
Right.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay. Well, I still have it in my head. So with the thank you, it's interesting because we were taught to thank the Most High, and this is true, right? And we still do. I still do, regardless. But in the tablets it says, you don't thank the Most High or His heavenly hosts. They thank you. Because your ass is making their job easier, because now you are an aider of Allah. You are an aider of the Most High. So you're helping with this workload. So they're thanking you for being part of all, for being Fi El Kalum, being a part of this plan, to be what's the word? To volunteer yourself. You know? It's a voluntary thing. You're volunteering. You know, let's say we're all family, and we are all family, but let's just say we are family. All of us are related, right? And Miss Hudson throws a huge party, and every last one of us that's here right now is invited. And not only that, let's say she said we could bring +1. So you bring whoever the fuck you want to bring, right? We enjoy the party. Y'all know what happens at a party. It could be a dinner party. It doesn't matter. So let's say that 50 of us showed up, right? But only 5 of us volunteered to help clean up. And so she thanks the 5 of us, while the 45 of you motherfuckers got the hell on. But we are family. We are related. So it is a hard job, but we need some volunteers, even though we are family. And it's not that we ask for volunteers. It's just the fact that it should be naturally in you as family to help We're all family. No friends, but the plus one was a friend, but we're all family. So that's when we do the will of the Most High, highest. And let's say she is Miss Hudson. And so we're here to be an aider to Miss Hudson, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what I'm saying? So it works like that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So we yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Newbie.
That's a great analogy, Don.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I mean a lot. So that's doing the will, you know. And also it takes us back to one of my favorite stories, the servant in the vineyard. Remember that one, Newbie?
Vaguely.
The servant in the vineyard. The master of the land told the servant, you know what I'm saying, I'm going away, but I need you to just stand by the fence. And he's just a servant. And he was standing by the fence the whole goddamn time, but he noticed that the fence was raggedy than a motherfucker. So he fixed it. Not only that he fixed it, he noticed that it also needed painting. So he painted it. Not only that he painted it and that it needed fixing and he fixed it, he noticed that there were weeds and all types of shit growing around it, fucking it all up. So he cut down the weeds. And also tend to the vineyard as well. And grew better grapes, to care for it all. So when the master of the land showed up, the Adonai, he was impressed. You know, because all he just asked that the damn servant do was just stand right there, man. Don't go nowhere. Just stand by this damn fence, man, until I get back. So he made him equal to his sons. And his sons had, you know, a great inheritance. And he also, my bad, I'm wrong. Fuck it. Eventually we'll get to that story. Let's get back to the whisperer. But at the end of the day, he gave him a whole bunch of food and he was able to feast with the family at the first time. And then, but what the servant in the vineyard did was take it back to those other servants so they can also feast. You got me? Newbie? Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. So even though he was giving all this food for himself, but he also shared it with the other servants. And that's when the master of that land saw that he was even more impressed and made him equal to his sons, heir to the throne, and also to the inheritance. It's all based on will. Like he said, it could be used positively or negatively. You know, it's a lot. So, you know. You got me, baby. Yeah. All right. Let's finish up, shall we? Where are we? Enclosed garden. Oh, we're in the wheel. We're in the wheel, right? The wheel. All right. We're on page 538. Great day, Hakeem. Long time no see, my friend. Okay. We're on page 538. We're in the whisperer. Yeah, I think. Yeah. 538 verse 88. Let's do it from there. No, 87. Will, being a gift like fire, can be used positively or negatively. Like water, it can be used positively or negatively. And like the spirit, it can be used positively or negatively. So be ever watchful of will, for its cunningness is infinite, and its aim is at your destruction. Cadman and Hawa, a newly created pair, obeyed Anu's words, and they lived in paradise without approaching the forbidden tree. But Halal, the reptilian, also listened to Anu, the Most High, and resolved to lead the human in sin. Now remember now, Halal is in the order of sin, not in the order of Zadok. So he constantly walked out. Halal, okay, but Halal, the reptilian, also listened to Anu, the Most High, and resolved to lead human in sin. So he constantly walked on the outskirts of the enclosed garden, seeking a guide to lead him into paradise. For he was forbidden entrance, although he continued to look for some way to penetrate its divine gates. But the gates were shut and guarded by the Anunnaki Elohim, Kakael, Rude One, son of Azariel and Raphakiel. Kanaz is also known as the beast of the earth that would rise up in the last days with what they will call the number 666, but in reality could only be the Aramic Hebrew letters Zain, 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 or the Greek letters Zeta, 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 which is simply zig, zag, zig. So his seed is called the Zionist. And our servant Daniel received the 12 chapters of the writing of the prophet Daniel, the 11th degree, verse 21, 32, 34, and 35. And it says, and in his estate shall stand up a bazaar, worthless, vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in shalwa, quietly. He should come in quietly and obtain the kingdom by chaklaqua, flatteries. So he shall come in quietly and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. And such do Rasha wickedly. And such do wicked against the Berith, the covenant. And such do wickedly against the covenant shall he, Chanef, corrupt and defile by flatteries. Again, he shall come in quietly and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. And such do wicked against the covenant shall he corrupt and defile by flatteries. But the Am, nation of people, that do know their Elohim shall be strong and do exploits. They shall be helpers with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall to try them and to purge and to make them milky white, even to the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. What is that saying? Ghostize them too. Turn them niggas white. Right? All this skin lightening shit. I posted a video, Newbie, on Facebook of these bitches in Africa in some damn water, and they scraping the black skin off of them.
Say what?
Using some, yeah. And in this book that we've reading, I think we probably passed it or pop up again, but it said Leviathan, this sick bastard, would have ghostized the whole planet Earth, will bleach the whole planet Earth, will ghostize. I think he said ghostize or bleach. Yeah, will bleach y'all motherfuckers. And you see so many of them bleaching their skins and all types of shit, man. So that's what he said in this part. They shall be helpers. This in the book of Daniel now. They shall be helpers with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall and try them. Nope, that ain't what it said. They shall be helpers with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall to try them and to purge and to make them Laban, milky white, even to the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Now, when they shall fall, O you, find it all defined in the scripture, which was given to one of our sons, Tammuz, Yahshua, and also Jesus, the scripture, which the Mohammedans call the Injil, the Evangel, the 7th degree of the 12th verse. That's the book of Revelation for some of y'all. And he referred to the living beast, and I quote, "And when those living creatures gave glory and honor and thanks to Melchizedek, that is seated on the seat, who lives forever and ever." End quote. "And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to the Elohim that sat on the throne, who lives forever and ever, fall down before him that sat on the throne. And the 4 living creatures said, Amen, Amun, Aman, giving thanks to Amun Ra. And the 24 elders fell on their faces and prostrated for him. And Yeshua was after the order of this Melchizedek, as was Moses and Abraham. For Yeshua is called the first and last, and everything we do and say, we do in the name of the first and the last." This was recorded in the scripture called the genealogy of Isis, or simply Genesis, the 9th degree, the 25th verse, and that's quote, "And Noah, son of Lamech, said, Ham, the curse will be upon your son Canaan, the albino, a slave, abd of slaves. He will be to his brothers, the Shemites, the Japhethites, which are the non-albinos. A servant shall he be to his brethren, which was given to one of our sons, whom you know as Moses. There is a description of how the beast will take the form of a man, and how he will imperil your life and shape your life with his wicked hands. For this beast of the earth and of the field is well aware of your terrestrial contacts, and he knows that you were fashioned after the likeness of the Creator, and so was he. He too is in human form, and he can be commanded to abstain from squandering the blood of human by the divinely sent powers. So remember Cain and Abel. For when they both reached the age of maturity, Anu commanded our son, Cadman, to ordain his eldest son, Cain, to marry Achimelech, Abel's twin sister. And his younger son, Abel, was decreed to marry Labuda, Cain's twin sister. Abel complied with his father's mandate, but Cain, who was consumed by jealousy, desired to possess his twin sister Labuda and to impede her marriage to Abel, his younger brother. For Labuda was extremely beautiful and wise, and Abel feared his brother would exploit the excellence of Labuda and consequently attain greater heights of glory. You peep that? Any wise, I'm gonna get a wise bitch in his life. Look, you heard that Abel feared that Cain would exploit the excellence of Labuda and consequently attain greater heights of glory. That should let you know right now.
So Abel feared his brother would exploit the excellence of Labuda.
Yeah, because that nigga, that nigga, he become God. That nigga got a goddamn wise woman as a sister and / wife. That motherfucker would move mountains. Yeah, so he feared his brother would exploit her excellence and attain greater heights. A lot of males tend to do that.
So then, Don, it's saying that it was his idea then?
No, it's Cain.
It was Abel's idea?
No, Abel feared that this nigga ain't gonna appreciate Labuda, his twin sister. He ain't gonna appreciate. He gonna exploit her excellence. Okay. He gonna exploit it so that he could benefit from what she has. You understand? That's what he feared. That's what Abel feared. That Cain, that he wouldn't do it. He would fuck it up. He would exploit all this gifts and shit that this girl got for his own height, for his own ego, whatever, greater heights of glory. That's what he feared, that he gonna do that bitch all kind of fucking. He just gonna exploit her powers, her gifts, her wisdom, and her beauty. Yeah. So basically, Abel was saying that nigga they're just gonna use that bitch to get what the fuck he want. Period. And meanwhile, Abel was supposed to marry Labuda, and Abel wouldn't have did that shit. That's how Abel saw it. I won't exploit her to attain greater heights of glory for my own selfish benefits, selfish purpose, or whatever. Cain, which means possession, that's what his name means, inherited the vile and venomous